As to bond,
Your Honor, we are just looking to address the condition of bond that requires that Mr. Hopkins be on house arrest. Prior to this matter, Mr. Hopkins was employed as a result of having the tether plates. No longer able to, in this case, he was no longer able to maintain that employment. He is hoping to be able to get new employment and is asking that the court consider a no go-to order, a no contact order, or anything of that nature. My client, Mr. Hopkins, also recently registered for the cybersecurity program. Text me that information. I tried to send the confirmation to Ms. Barroso so that she would be able to see it. It's my understanding that the classes are majority online, but that would be the only place that he would have.
As the hearing opens, Mr. Hopkins' defense pleads for mercy. Once employed, now stranded by house arrest, Hopkins seeks a lifeline. He's 20, enrolled in cybersecurity training, and desperate to work again. His team offers alternate orders, no-go zones, but begs the court to reconsider confinement. With no priors and family support by his side, Hopkins makes his quiet stand to reclaim a future derailed.
Otherwise, he's just asking for some order that would allow him to work and just not have that kind of contact.
response.
Your Honor, the bond in this case was set at $5,000 cash or surety when we requested a $50,000 bond. In this case, the people are uncomfortable with him being out. This was an event, or a series of events that occurred where the defendant assaulted the victim at not one but two locations. An eyewitness saw the defendant shove the victim while near the police station. The police attempted to make contact with the defendant, and then he picked up, as a result of him resisting, picked up 5 counts of R&O against 4 different officers. One of those 5 counts is an R&O causing injury that was so severe that...
But the prosecution wastes no time exposing a darker picture. They say Hopkins assaulted the same victim twice, near a police station, then spiraled into chaos. When officers tried to arrest him, he resisted. 5 charges followed, one so severe, an officer now seeks orthopedic treatment. The judge is stunned. There was DV and an injured officer. Why is he even out? The room freezes.
Officer injured? Why is he out?
Your Honor, if I could address.
Hold on. I'll let Ms. Barroso finish and then you can address it. I just had an intermediate question. Go ahead.
So at this point, I don't think that a modification of bond removing him from being on house arrest is appropriate. We objected to a nominal bond of $5,000 when it was originally granted. At this point, I don't think that any further reduction is appropriate.
A couple things. First of all, Mr. Hopkins is here with his father. He is 20 years old. He has no prior criminal history. In reviewing the police report and the video, even the report references that the altercation, that the incidents that resulted in this charge, that there were...
In which charge?
I'll start with the domestic violence. That with those charges, that there was a more complicated situation. I believe the officer said, the report says something to the effect of, and this would also go to the property, that there had been physical altercations between the two of them, fighting between the two of them, and breaking of objects between the two of them. So I believe that there's more to this than said. The allegations of the domestic violence are the one of the shoving, and also I believe of Mr. Hopkins taking his own computer back from the complainant. That's the second allegation of the domestic violence. And the resisting and obstructing is, the allegations are that Mr. Hopkins, not that Mr. Hopkins turned around.
The defense counters hard. painting a murkier scene. The so-called domestic violence, a scuffle over a laptop and mutual fights. The injury to an officer? It wasn't violence. They claim he simply pulled away, and the officer fell. But the prosecution won't back down. Punches were thrown, fingers were twisted, and one officer had to pull a taser out of their gun. This isn't miscommunication, it's war between narratives.
And slammed someone or punched them or anything, that he pulled away. The allegation is the officer fell and that caused the injury. And then that officer fell, yes, as he pulled away. And then subsequently, 4 officers who were, some of whom just pulled up on the scene in the video, all ran after him. And that's where the eventually stopped. It was not, it's not as if he were in a vehicle and went miles or hours away. He did stop running, and he did, once they complied, once that occurred, there were no further incidents. So.
Your Honor, I'm sorry. That is not the characterization of the R&O. The allegations include him punching 2 officers in the face, breaking free of their grasp, causing them to fall to the ground, twisting and seriously injuring an officer's finger. And then it went on for such a period of time that an officer had to point and deploy a taser. And that another officer had to point their pistol at a defendant. So at the defendant. So at this point, I don't think it was him passively.
Your Honor, I had an opportunity to view the video.
Well, you had an opportunity to view the video.
Yes.
Let me ask you this. Was a taser deployed?
Your Honor, when the
I think that's either yes or no. Was a taser deployed?
Your Honor, as soon as the officer saw him, she pointed the taser at him. This is not, as soon as she saw him, she pointed the taser at him. This is not a situation where he was running and pointed the taser.
I didn't ask that, Ms. Gaines. I did not ask that.
Yes, sir.
Was the taser deployed?
Yes, it was.
Did an officer have to draw their weapon?
I did not see that. I could not see that on the video.
Ms. Barroso, are you indicating an officer had to draw their weapon?
That is what was indicated to me in the file, Your Honor. Yes.
And then there's an officer that's injured. Again, we'll ask the question. I don't know why this individual's out.
Again, Your Honor, he's 20 years old. He has no prior history, and he has no reason to.
Hopkins, they say, ran but not far. He stopped, he didn't use a car, didn't resist violently, and wasn't armed. Defense says the force used was overkill. 4 to 5 squad cars, sirens blaring, cornering a 20-year-old with no history. But the prosecutor blasts back. He punched 2 officers, broke free, twisted a finger, and triggered multiple weapon draws. The judge demands answers, yes or no. This isn't a debate. It's judgment hour.
That's my understanding. I have not heard any information that he has had any contact with the complainant, has violated any orders. He is just asking to be able to go to work and to be able to get a job and go to work. Your Honor, would you want to hear from Mr. Hopkins' father, who's present?
I don't know what he could tell me at this point in time. I'm more worried about the bond as it originally is set. I don't. Does he have prior convictions for anything?
No, Your Honor.
That the original domestic was about. I mean, I'm trying to figure out, because I'll just tell you, I have some serious concerns that this escalated to a point that officers are having to deploy a taser, pull their weapon, and there are clearly enough officers around to, in my opinion, have subdued this individual without having to do all of that. So something else is going on. And
Your Honor,
I also have, I mean, one's bad enough, but I have 2 counts of domestic violence.
again, Your Honor, one of them is him taking back his own computer. That's one of the allegations. And that's why I'm saying there were things that were happening before this. That's not to excuse his behavior. That is to say that there's broader context. And in my view of the video, initially there was one officer, then there were two, and he ran from two, but as he's running from those two, there are cars, four and five cars are pulling up with sirens on an unarmed young man who...
The courtroom tightens. The judge doesn't want speculation, she wants clarity. Did an officer draw a gun? Was the taser deployed? Who exactly was injured? As both sides struggled to match the footage with the reports. A storm brews. The judge is furious. How did this get here? She says. How does a kid with no record cause this much damage? The story keeps twisting, and the judge knows something's off.
Prosecutor does.
Well, explain some of those then. Because I've got a victim of a DV that's injured.
She is not, the domestic violence person is not injured. It was the shove and the taking of there's no injury to her.
Domestic violence are 2 misdemeanor counts.
That is correct.
Felonies here are 5 counts of are 5 counts.
Yeah, I see that.
Are now causing it.
Maybe I misread that on the report, but
Yes.
the injury to the fingers, that's the officer.
That's correct.
Thank you.
In a final effort, the defense pleads Hopkins' clean slate, no new charges, no skipped hearings, and 0 threats. His father's present, he only visits for court or school. Why not let him work? They ask. The judge pauses, then slams the gavel down. No changes, no bond reductions. Honestly, he shouldn't be out at all, she says. With that, the motion is denied. Hopkins leaves with the same shackles he walked in with.